I'm Shannon. I'm the Social Rec Director at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, and I also run the dance program. Today we're going to be learning some dance technique, and if you haven't already had the chance to look at the other two dance technique videos that we've posted, go ahead and look at those now. They might be a little helpful today because we're going to use some of the terms that we learned in the other ones to do what we're doing today. So the main thing that I want to focus on today is what is called a pirouette. So if you don't know what a pirouette is, all it is just a fancy word for a turn, and you might have seen dancers and ballerinas do it on stage, so we're going to learn that. Before we get started, we are going to make sure that we have the right posture, so that means standing up nice and tall. We're going to pretend that there is a string attached to our belly button, bring it all the way up and attach it to your ceiling so that we aren't slouching over, and we're going to pretend that we're balancing on something on top of your head, so that it's not wobbling all over the place, and look just straight ahead, okay? Make sure that you're standing up as tall as you can. And now let's get into the basics for our pirouette. The first thing about a pirouette is you don't want to be pushing your hips too forward, but you also don't want to be pushing them too back. So what that means is your backside is just going to be tucked under your hips, just perfectly, so that you're not pushing forward or pushing back. And you also want to suck your belly in just a little bit, but not so that you're popping out your chest. So we're just going to stand up really, really tall. Okay? Now the next thing that we're going to do when we do a pirouette is we are going to just use for today I'm just going to use my right leg. So I'm going to tap that right leg, and that leg is going to tendu out to the side. Okay? So we're tenduing out into second position. And our hands are going to follow just like they do when we do our 5 positions. So this is, our foot is in second and our arms are in second. Okay, so stand up nice and tall. We tendu out into second. The next thing that we do in order to do a pirouette is we are going to use that same right leg, and we're going to tendu back into 4th position. And just like before, our arms are following our feet. So let's stand up nice and tall again. We tendu out into second. Tendu back into 4th. Okay? After we tendu into 4th, we are going to do a plie, which means bending of the knees. So we're going to plie and bend our knees. Alright? Standing up nice and tall. We tendu out into second. Tendu back into 4th. Plie. Now we are just going to do a practice one, so we're not going to turn. We're just going to do what our body is going to look like while we're turning. So that means I'm going to bring my back leg from 4th position. I'm going to bring it up into a passe, and my hands are going to follow. Your hands should be big enough so that you can fit a giant beach ball in between them, okay? So not too far out, but just far enough that you could fit something in between them. So let's stand up nice and tall again. We'll try it all the way from the beginning. So we tendu out into second, tendu back into 4th, plie, and passe. Good. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. So when we do our passe, which means bringing your foot up to your knee, when we're turning, we're actually going to be doing what is called a releve on our standing leg. So releve in ballet just means going up on your toes. Okay? So we are going to passe and releve. Alright? So starting all the way from the beginning without turning, and then we'll add a turn after. So we step out, tendu into second, tendu back into 4th, plie, releve, and passe. Good, now we can step back into 4th for our final pose. Alright, now we are going to go over some things before we turn. So when we're turning, something that's really, really, really important in turning is what we call spotting. So if you've ever seen a dancer dance on stage, you notice that they can do 15 turns in a row without ever getting dizzy. And the reason that they can do that is because they're doing what we call spotting. So spotting is really easy. You're going to find something that is right in front of you, eye level, so that you're not looking up at it or looking down. So just look at something that's straight ahead of you, and you want to look at it as long as you possibly can. So we're just going to practice. We're going to walk in a circle around ourselves and keep your eyes on whatever you're looking at. So once you get to where you can't look at it anymore, you whip your head around right away so that you can see it again. So the entire time that dancers are turning, they're looking at that one thing on the wall, okay? Now we're going to put all of that together and try to do a turn. So remember, stand up nice and tall. We're going to tendu out into second, tendu back into fourth, plie. Now this time when we releve and passe, we're going to turn to the side. So turn and back down into fourth. Let's try it again. Stand up nice and tall. Tendu out into second, tendu back into fourth, plie, releve passe, and back into fourth. And that is how you do a pirouette. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Make sure that you are practicing all your dance moves at home. Look at all the other dance videos that we posted, as well as all of the other programs. We have some cool art up there. There's some games for you guys to play, trivia, science, facts of the day. We have some reading. So there's tons and tons of things for you guys to do. Make sure that you check those out. Make sure that you're also coming on every day at 4 o'clock when we do our live streams. And stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.